It's Friday. Let's have some fun. Hey there, and welcome once again to the video call-in show. I know, I've been gone for quite a while. But listen, it is what it is. I've had some, I've had some life things to get through. I lost my mother. Yeah, that made the holidays just fantastic, let me tell you. But and I've been struggling with a few other things as it relates to YouTube, but you know they're on me. But listen, this is the video call-in show. My goal is and remains to be one that I want to go on every single weeknight, and I'm working toward that. To get anyone on that wants to come on and you know talk about whatever they want to talk about. Now tonight's a Friday night, and it's kind of a laid back thing. But listen, it's real easy to join. All you got to do is go to that web address right there. There's a link in the description. And this is only good when we're live. If you're watching this after it's been uploaded, don't worry. You'll have to catch us on a live night so you can join the show. But you're more than welcome to join live via audio or video. I prefer video. That is the goal of this show, is to have you on as video. But hey, if you think you've got a face like this that only a mother could love, by all means, jump on audio only. And that just means that when you fire up Zoom, that you'll have the choice to actually show up as show up using your camera or not. Now, whether your camera is your laptop camera or you've got a better camera, use it. As you know, it's Friday, so we're tossing back a few. I know it's late Friday. What is it, 11:45 Eastern Standard Time as I'm taping this. I've been out in the garage working with my homegrown CNC machine. Gotta love playing with that thing. It is fantastic. It's just amazes me how the numbers can translate into, can translate into physical motion, and you know, for me that's a never-ending sort of ball to play with, because I love making shit. I'm more happy when I'm out in the garage or sitting here talking to you folks. But whenever I'm working alone and actually getting something done, I'm a happy camper. So, yeah, like I said, the goal of this show is to get you on live, and you know, we can we can talk. This will be you right here. Talk about anything you want to talk about. Do you have a YouTube channel that you want to promote? Now, as we grow, that's only going to work in your favor. We had a couple great interviews prior to the holidays. And like I said, I took normally I wouldn't take the holidays off because I don't take breaks when I work. But this time I decided to, because it was an extraordinarily busy time. In fact, I'm covered in sawdust now, and it's not just from my CNC. It's because we're redoing the kitchen. That's always fun. I'm going to see if I can throw up a picture of my latest project on the CNC. Yeah, I got some pictures of it. What I've gotten into here lately is really, it was more a necessity than anything else. I wanted to create an address plaque for my house, and I actually had somebody else want me to do the same thing. Look, more beer. Oh, there might be a pattern here. There might be a pattern here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying there can be a pattern. But yeah, zero fucks given. Oh, this is taking too long. Let me see. Add to Dropbox. Yeah, we'll add that. And then I'll see if I can't drag that up here in a minute. But yeah, it's just a simple milling operation where the letters are cut out of a block of wood. In this case, poplar. And there's one of my images. I'll throw this up for you here real fast, just because it sounds fun. But yeah, here's an example of what I was talking about. It's merely an address plaque. Now this happens to be for my niece and nephew down in Florida. They made mention that they wanted one, and I thought, okay, I'll make it. Now they don't know this channel exists, so the cat's not out of the bag. I was actually going to surprise them, and here we are. They're going to get surprised. But yeah, man, I just love working with that thing. In fact, my last video was on that. I was going to work through some Fusion 360 issues while I was on the air, and I got pissed off yet again, which I know is not uncommon for me. But I got to look into the live page and notice that we weren't up there, and it just drives me nuts to this day. In fact, here I am sitting here talking virtually to myself, and I know why that is. I absolutely know why that is. That's because the live page doesn't have their shit together. But I don't want to get on that tangent again. I just want to sit back and chat for a while. Yeah, we've got the kitchen just tore apart. The wife decided that she wanted to go with granite, and I got no problem with that. We had Corian, which is that other. It's kind of it's an engineered stone for engineered plastic, really, but it's really nice and durable. Although it scratches real easy. If you're thinking about going Corian, just know that it does scratch easily. So when you're dragging your nice plates across that thing, it's going to drag, or it's going to scratch on you. Now it's if you're handy at all, it's really easy to sand out. But we all know what kind of a bitch that can be, because you're gonna have dust everywhere, and that can't be a good thing. Just can't be a good thing. I was gonna do it. In fact, I was looking at my bar today, and we know we're going with granite. I thought, I could probably sand that down real fast. Give it a quick. I think I'd probably start at 220 and then work my way all the way up into the thousands, and just give it a really nice polish. And I probably will, because I'm going to save some of that. I want to engrave it. I want to see how well that stuff engraves on my CNC machine, because who knows what kind of plaques and things I can make out of that. It's kind of a neutral. It's really, really dark, but it's got tan specks throughout at random. It's not at all uniform. But yeah, I'm thinking about engraving some of that and seeing how that turns out. It should be easier than stone, since it's just a plastic substrate. Anyway, again, we are the video call-in show. We invite anyone who wants to come on the show and talk about anything, and then it's a very easy Zoom teleconference. All you've got to do is go to that address right there. There's a link in the description to the same thing. May ask you to download something. Put in a whatever you want me to call you, and I'll bring you on the show, and we'll talk about stuff. I like to do a split screen when I've got people on live, but we can talk about your work. We can talk about current events. We can talk about drinking beer on a Friday night. It doesn't matter. You can talk about anything you want to talk about. If you just want to chat, and we'll talk there too. But the whole idea behind this is community participation. Don't want the beers to get the better of me here. And to give people a voice where they don't normally get a voice. I hear all the time people talking about how they want to collaborate with other YouTube channels. And one of the driving factors here was, well, this is instant collaboration. I mean, if you're sitting, whoops, let's try this again. If you're sitting, if you're sitting over here and we're talking about whatever you want to talk about, that's collaboration. Look at some of my other videos. What I'd like to do is I like to chop those out and make them their own videos so that the folks that come on can actually use those to their own devices, right? And for now, you get to sit back and watch me talk about nothing, drink some beer, and vape. Not going to go into my smoking history. I actually have a show planned. What I like to do is I like to put together shows and that have subject matter together. Friday night free for alls is a whole different story, but I like to put together show subject or topics of the day. And one of those topics of the day is going to be vaping here soon because it's well, it saved my life. I truly believe that. I actually, my mother, rest her soul, when I saw her almost 10, no, it wasn't 10 years ago, probably 7 years ago, she decided to make a life change, and we noticed that any sort of physical activity at all just left her completely breathless. So, and I was already selling these, vapes, not this because they weren't even available at the time, but I was selling vapes online, and I got her involved in it, and it probably prolonged her life for another 6-7 years, which is nice. But but I'll go into all of that in an upcoming show. I'm looking forward to that actually. But I anytime you'd like to participate, if you've got something you want to talk about, bring it on. Bring it on. I should notice, or I should mention that I think it was my Christmas Day show. I had a couple kids call up, and it wasn't the is your refrigerator running sort of prank call. It was just they had some nasty things to say, and it's like, yeah, I remember when I was 11 using curse words for the first time. But they just had some stupid things to say and jumped off. And it was funny too because I was actually chatting with somebody that had heard them on other shows like this. But rest assured, this is not your normal radio call-in show. You're free to call in, but I want to see you live and on video. I mean, I've taken the plunge to do it. Let's get you over here. And let's just chat it up, man. On a Friday night, why are we not talking about beer and vapes and hell, if you still smoke or hit cigars or something, let's talk about that. Me, I'm just gonna sit back and drink. It's almost midnight, and I should be doing station IDs if this were indeed a station. This is WVCI. It is 11:57 Eastern Standard Time. Do you know where your kids are? Yeah, that was horrible. I've always said that I've got a face for radio, a voice for print, and I'll be damned if I can't spell. So yeah, the idea behind this show is to have a good time and to meet new people and just talk about whatever you want to talk about. I will say something that if you haven't noticed my ad, see that? Zero fucks given. I've gotten into collecting these tactical Velcro patches. Now, I am former military, so a lot of them appeal to me that don't appeal to other people. But yeah, I'm starting to really come up with a small collection over here. I even have my old unit patch. So my thought process is that I will be wearing a variety of these over the next coming weeks, and if it sparks a conversation, all the better, all the better. I mean, why not? Yeah, I seem kind of fidgety tonight, don't I? Well, I can't get comfortable. My back is killing me. Oh man, I tell you, you kids that are still young, you've no idea how good you've got it. No idea. Age creeps up on you. Shit starts hurting, and there ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. So you just live with it, right? Though there are a few things that I wish I would have done when I was, a younger man. That that I didn't, and that is lift with my knees, not my back. Another thing would be wear hearing protection whenever it gets too loud. Now, I always do when I go shooting, but quite honestly, I rarely do when I'm working in the garage. And some of those power tools have a decibel level that will literally hurt. Oh, not only that, but I'm a musician. And one of the things I've found over the years is that after a good long practice session, my ears are killing me. Now, I even to the point where I bought some. What are those earplugs? And maybe some of you know out there. Let me know in the comments. What are those earplugs that attenuate a certain decibel level, so it allows you to hear a great deal of what you're talking about, but when you get to a certain level, it puts the kibosh on it, and it really really helps save those delicate ear parts. If you know what I'm referring to, comment down below and let me know. Jog my memory, if you will, because I ended up buying some of those. And they work okay, but they turned out to be uncomfortable. And I stopped wearing them like an idiot. So after, I guess it's only been 15, 20 years of being a musician of sorts, I suffer from tinnitus. So, and what that means is that, I get some ringing in the ears. God, I feel sawdust everywhere. I'm installing can lights in a two-story here, and that's not easy because, the ceilings are sealed. But anyway, I did not wear hearing protection like a moron, and I'm paying for it now. I did not lift with my knees when I was younger like a moron, and I'm paying for it now. We're all morons as far as that's concerned. That happens to every one of us. We've all got one or more, I don't know, habits, for lack of a better term, that we don't realize is going to stab us in the back when we get older. Smoking's another one. I smoked for over 30 years, like a moron. and unfortunately, I still enjoy. I enjoy a lot about it, which is why for the last 10 or 12 years, I've been hitting these things. Now, I will tell you that that it has changed my life markedly, and that things taste better, all that, everything you hear about quitting or moving into a less harmful addiction is true. And I'm glad, but still, I just know that I've done irreparable damage to my lungs. And what are you going to do? You can't go back. You can't go. Thanks for joining us. Hey, sound amplification. No, they're not sound amplification earmuffs. Thanks for commenting, Champworks Garage. They don't amplify. They attenuate. They literally cut some of the audio out so that you're not hit with large amounts of or high amounts of decibel. Or many, yeah, high decibels. Thank you, Yingling, for the clarity. Yeah, so I know what you're talking about, and I used to really, really want a pair of those for hunting. I wanted to be able to look out in the woods and automatic noise blocking. Yeah, Champworks Garage says Adam automatic noise blocking. I think that's what they refer to those. They're really kind of cool. They look like standard earplugs. Like the rubber ones with the three little concave bands around them and a post that you can hold on to. You place them in your ears, but the sound attenuation, the noise blocking, is within that post, and so normal levels sounds like it feels like you don't even have them on. When you get into a high decibel environment, it's all at the same level. They're really cool. But I got to tell you that earplugs and earphones are historically uncomfortable for me. I've had ear problems, not severe ear problems, but something sensitive about my ears for years, and I avoid that sort of thing, which is why I'm suffering from tinnitus, today. So, okay, Champworks, you work in a garage. I'm going to suggest to you that that you get a good pair. Maybe it's just headphones, because that's what I use now when I work out in the garage. Is I'll use good Lord, fuck are those called? Earmuffs, not earmuffs. Gosh, dang it. Oh, but they're hearing protectors. But they look like headphones. And where's my head at tonight? But anyway, I wore those out. Like okay, Champworks, help me out here. When you go to the range, what are those headphones that we throw on? You know what they are. I mean, you may not go to the range, but the the hearing protection that are ear headphones rather than earplugs. That's what I use out in the garage, and I would suggest that you do the same, because I know that working on vehicles and whatnot, and I know you've got a Bronco or two that you've worked on. Yeah, it makes all kinds of sense to protect your hearing when you're drilling and air hammering and all that kind of stuff. Man, that stuff will tear your ears up, and you don't even know it until you get over half a century. When you do get over half a century, and you find yourself with tinnitus or a reduction in your ability to hear, you'll look back like I am now, and you go, "Fuck, why didn't I do something about that earlier? Why didn't I take better care of myself?" Who was it that said, "Hell, if I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself"? Well, that's true. That is true, man. We can all say that. We can all say that. That's good. Champwork says that he always has a pair within reaching distance. So, yeah, that's awesome. It's those 3 times that you don't use them that that you'll end up paying for it. I tell you, when I'm running that CNC, because that CNC is so friggin' loud, I've got not only my shop vac working, but the CNC as well. And it's, it's a router that runs at 26,000 RPM, so it's screaming like a banshee. I'll have them on before I even start anything up. And then it's going to run for a half an hour, on the part I'm trying to make. One of these days, I'll grab some of these things that I'm making. I know I showed you a photo of one earlier, but I've got a whole a whole selection because I'm still in the phase where I'm learning. Yeah, I'm sorry. Going back to the chat here, Champwork says it's awkward positioning under the vehicle sometimes. It really is, and worse than that, it just feels awkward because you're not hearing everything that you normally think you should hear. I totally get that. Believe me, I've been down that road 1,000 times where I know I should be wearing them and I don't because it feels like I'm missing something. But I guess the today's lesson would be anytime you think about wearing them and you can and should, then you should. That's where that goes. It really feels good to be back. It does feel good. I it was kind of hard getting back up on the horse. I didn't think it would be, but it was. A lot of things to think about when you have hard times, and when you've when you've got the holidays in your face, so to speak. Even this would have been real easy if this were my living, but I've got to make a living, so it is what it is. So, for any of you who have joined us, or if you're watching us after this live stream, whenever we go live, it's real easy to come on. All you've got to do is visit this address right here, and it changes every show. Changes every show because I know that people will watch this after it's been recorded and uploaded by YouTube. And if they try that link, it'll be a dead link. Oh, and looky there, we actually have a visitor. Hello, Champworks. Let me unmute you. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Let me hide myself here and get a screen here where I can get you in. Your audio is live, so you know.
Yes.
Now, are you listening to me, or are you listening to? I'm sorry. Are you listening to the YouTube feed or the Zoom feed?
The Zoom feed. I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Hang with me just for a minute. Oops, that's not it. Guest full. There we go. You're live, my friend. How are you, Champworks?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing so much better now than I was.
That's good.
You and I have talked offline, and you're privy to some of the things I've been going through. So you get it.
Yep.
So what
Totally.
what what brings you on the show tonight?
I don't know. You kept saying you wanted me to join, so I figured, why not?
Yeah, was
Hanging
it too
out
much
here in the
pressure?
office, not well, doing a lot, but oh well. I'm taking
What
a
are you
break.
doing out there? What do you
Working
got
on
going on?
a 2014 Ford Explorer, replacing the timing chains and water pump and a bunch of other stuff because the timing chains are really stretched out.
Wow. I've heard that's a common problem in that 3.5. Is that am I right
Yep.
on that? Yeah.
Yep, it's the Sport Edition, the 3.5 EcoBoost.
Mm. Well,
And
I
right
take you
around
for a Ford guy.
100,000 miles, they stretch out.
Oh man. Well, I take you for a Ford guy because I've seen your Broncos on your channel, and
Yeah.
I too am a Ford guy. You may not know of my other channels that hell I even have a Ford tractor, but don't you do it. But but yeah, you remember or not? I had an '04 F-150, and it had the what was that? The 4.6 or the 5? No, it had the 5.4. Is my Super Crew had the
The 5.4
4.6.
have problems with the cam phasers.
Yeah, yeah. Being starved, right?
Yes, they'll
Uh,
lock up on you.
mm-hmm. Yeah. My that and the oil journals up front, which just killed that truck. Just killed it.
Yeah.
But
Well, this one
I
has cam
remain
phasers
a
as well, but they don't lock up on you. They'll wear out, but they don't lock up on you like that. Those did. They improved the design since then, but the single timing chain is the problem on this one.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but no vehicle is actually immune from that sort of thing, as we know, because
Yeah,
hell,
timing
I
chain.
can remember. Yeah, well, hell, I can even remember back in the day. I made a ton of money replacing uh, timing gears in the old Mavericks because they were a composite, on steel, almost like a Bakelite, but I know it wasn't Bakelite. And man, when those
Yeah.
things went, they just shattered. They just shattered.
Mm.
Yeah. Fortunately, you didn't have any. You didn't have any valve damage, and they're pretty easy to
No,
change.
it
But
doesn't appear that way.
what's that?
It doesn't appear there was any valve damage.
No. Oh, you mean on yours?
Oh yeah, we're talking the Mavericks.
Yeah, yeah. That never seemed to be any valve damage at all on the ones that I repaired. Seemed like nobody else could do it. This is actually the I did two of them. My first two was in the military. I was up in Washington State, and my first sergeant had a Maverick that blew up, and another buddy of mine did too. And
Yeah. Huh.
turned out to be those plastic gears, man.
No good.
About the same mileage, yeah, about the same mileage too, because they were both between 80 and 100 grand.
Yeah, 100 grand's usually when they start to get loosey on you, but I've seen
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
some of these 3.5s as early as like 16,000 miles start throwing timing chain codes and stretching out. It's kind of unfortunate.
That's early.
Yes.
That is real early. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I hope my 15 F-150 doesn't have any problems like that. Of course, it's got the venerable 5.0.
Yeah, you'll be okay with the 5.0. It's these, the EcoBoost, the Turbo EcoBoost 3.5s are the ones that are problems.
Yeah,
5.0s.
which is a which is a shame because it's really a remarkable engine, man. That thing blows away so many V8s. The one that's in the F-150. It
Oh
just
yeah.
blows them away in towing capacity, speed, fuel efficiency. They're just amazing engines as far as I can tell. I
Yeah.
almost went with one of those.
Like, almost
Just
good
so
thing you
happened.
didn't because you'd be replacing chains.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I should be dodge that bullet, right?
Dealership wanted $3,000 to do the timing chains and the
Jesus.
everything, and I'm doing it for less than 300.
Mm. It's funny you say that. I took my wife's car in, and it's a Kia Sorento, and it was having a really tough time starting just a couple of nights ago when we were trying to get I was trying to get it out of the garage so the guys who were going to tear out the tile that I put in could get better access. And I'm just going to pull it out on the street, and man, that thing wouldn't start. Just wouldn't start. Yeah. So, I told the wife, I said, listen, you need to make an appointment because I know you need an oil change. You need to make an appointment with Kia, and have them check this out. Maybe it's through a code or something. And we get it up there, and they spent all day with it, and of course it didn't throw a code. So they're trying to replicate it, and they couldn't replicate it. Hell, I couldn't replicate it. The next day it started fine. Well, we I know, right? Every single time. So so we get back up there at about I picked her up at about 5 o'clock, and we get up there, and they're saying, well, it's got 90,000 on it. Maybe it's time for plugs and that sort of thing. And they're saying like, well, that's like a 5-hour job, and they priced it out at like $938.
Oh man,
Just for a tune-up. Oh man,
that's terrible.
I remember the last vehicle I did a tune-up on. I think it cost me $30.
It's probably just spark plugs, cap, rotor.
Oh yeah, and even wires.
Yeah, wires will cost you $30 these days.
I know. Back then, of course, I don't even know if they sell wires that aren't resistor. But back then, you actually had to specify you wanted the resistor wires so that they didn't interfere with your radio. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
We're talking old school. I know you're a younger man, so you may not remember that, but oh, that was so funny. Because sometimes they wouldn't even tell you. It's like, oh, I need some wires. They just hand you some wires. You get home, and you can hear your engine through the radio. It was really annoying. It's like, fuck, what I just spent my money on. Did you just crack a beer?
Yeah.
What are you drinking? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Good
yeah. I love Sun King. That's a beer I don't drink. That's a beer I don't drink enough of.
Yeah, I've
Your
always
mom-
liked it.
Yeah. I just keep getting these Yinglings.
Yeah, those are good too.
Gonna make me fat, man. There's a shit ton of calories in these guys. I bet. I don't even know. I haven't even looked.
You gotta get the light.
Oh.
That's just like a Coors Light or a Miller Light. It's all the same, like 99 calories or whatever.
The light beer is?
Yingling.
You talking about the light
yeah.
Yingling? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's just like Miller Light and Coors Light. I don't even know how many this has. Let's see.
Dude,
Trying to list
sunlight.
it.
They probably won't. I know that and the
No, it's not
WeMac
on
that I enjoy. They don't even put it on there. But that's higher alcohol content too than your standards. It's probably oh yeah, 4, 5, or 5.
Yeah, it doesn't
What's
say, but I'm sure.
yeah, what's a regular beer like a Bud or something? Isn't that about a 3 or 3.5? A what?
Is it 3.5?
I thought it was about 3.5. Yeah,
It might be.
but that's yeah, but those are going to be about 4 to 5%.
Probably. I would agree.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like about them. You don't have to drink so many
Good.
to wash away the pain. Oh man, I do appreciate you coming on. What'd you do? What did I do? Oh,
Somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else jumped in. Well, Champ Works, do you want to seed the floor, and I'll try to get a gulp of squalls in.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
hope he's
fine.
not a
Appreciate
spammer.
you
All
having
right.
me.
No, thanks for coming on, man. We're gonna have to have you back anytime. You know, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah, you'll have to do a channel review of my channel.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. I will do that. All right, stand by there, Gulp. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
Gulp of Squalls. Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Gulp? I can hear you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Hmm.
What brings you on tonight?
Well, I was just watching your show and it seemed very interesting.
Oh,
But I
well,
did
thank
want
you.
to I did want to say that I think your show is awesome, and I hope everyone please go and subscribe to whatever what is your channel name? I forgot. I'm not even on
It's
YouTube right now.
Oh, that's okay. It's the video call-in show.
Yeah, everyone go subscribe to the video call-in show. He only has 39 subscribers. Let's get him up to 1,000 so he'll get like more viewers on his live stream. So everybody can call in and hang out and stuff.
You're absolutely man. That's cool. Thank you so much. You're right. That is my goal. In fact, here in 2019, I want to have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I
That's
absolutely want to have
fantastic.
10,000.
I hope you achieve that goal.
Where are you calling from? You sound like you've got maybe a Tennessee or Kentucky accent. Am I right about that? You still there? Thank you so much. Oh, there you are. There you are. Do you want to come on video? Let me unmute you. I think you jumped off and then came back on. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I sure can. I sure can.
Can you see me?
Push your camera. I can push your camera away from yourself because right now all I've got is your eyes. Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, I'm going to cut to you. There you are, man. You're live with me.
Everyone
Well,
go
thank you
subscribe
so
to this
much.
guy. He's awesome.
I
I hope you reach
appreciate
your
it.
goal, man.
Oh man, I'm going to do everything I can. It's consistency's key, and I know I dropped off during the holidays, but I so am intent on being on live every weeknight from here on out.
Hmm.
From here on out.
That's awesome,
So
dude. I hope
was
you
I?
get to your goal. Yeah.
All right.
How about
Well,
at least 20,000 subscribers instead of 10,000?
oh yeah, I'd be happy with 20.
Hmm.
I would so be happy with
That's
20.
awesome.
But I'm being realistic, and I'm like, okay, 10K in a year. Let's go for that first. If it turns out to be 20, bonus plan. Am I right?
Yeah.
So where you hailing from? Are you, like I said, it sounds like you've kind of got a southern accent. Are you down near Tennessee, Kentucky, or
I'm in Virginia right now. I'm not
oh
from
Virginia?
Virginia, but yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm actually turning 13 in March. March 2nd.
Oh, wow, awesome. Well, I hope you were watching the earlier part of the show when because it was actually aimed at you. Start thinking now, even at 13 years old. Start thinking now about how you treat your body because you never know how it's going to treat you later.
Exactly.
You get into loud, yeah, you get into a loud environment. Use hearing protection. When you lift stuff, lift with your knees, not with your back, that sort of thing. And for the love of all that's holy, don't ever smoke. That is a decision you'll regret for the rest of your life. Oh, you've locked up. You've locked up. Can you still hear me? Can you talk? No, must be a connection problem there in Virginia. Well, thank you so much, Squall's End. I'll just call you Squall's End for coming on and wishing us well and hoping we move forward with this channel like I intend to. And I think let's see. Oh, we're at 12:30. I think with that, I'm going to bring this one. Well, we'll bring this one to a close. I want to thank all my viewers, both live and offline, and after the show is uploaded. Thanks to Champworks Garage, and listen, I'm committed to going every weeknight live, and I'm going to find a time that is rock solid, so that you'll know that you can come on. I want to say it's going to be 10 p.m., but I'll set that time soon. And until I do, you guys be good. Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you live.